been paid for by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me. All right, good afternoon, or whenever you're choosing to listen to it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and you're listening to the show that brings you a big attack on your audiological senses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sportswire, and I want to thank you for downloading or listening or tuning in, or however you're doing it through the many and millions of platforms that you can listen to the show on, be it iTunes, be it Fat Cat Radio, be it SWE-CT.com, via Facebook, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Tumblr, Pinterest. It doesn't matter how you're listening to it. The fact is that you are, and thank you for your patronage. So as I stated, you can listen to the show in a number of different ways. First of all, our website, SWE-CT.com, as well as myfatcatradio.com. You could also, like I said, subscribe to us or download us on iTunes, which is you go to iTunes, you go to the podcast page, and you search Sportswire, and then you could look for our flame logo done by the late great Big Lou, and you'll be able to find us, as well as go on Facebook.com/SportswireCT, Facebook.com/FatCatRadio Enterprise. Twitter is at SWE Connecticut. Tumblr, SoundCloud, Pinterest, Foursquare, Instagram, all SWE Connecticut. YouTube, Sportswire SWE, and Google Plus is Sportswire SWE. Anything else I forgot? Oh, Spreaker.com/show/sports-wire is our normal way to listen to it. All right. So we've got a lot to talk about on this show today, and I'm actually going to be Googling or Binging something because I wanted to share with y'all, if you haven't listened to it, the campaigns. First of all, I want to say that if you follow me on Twitter, that's right. The other thing is Facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella is my personal fan page. And if you follow me on Twitter, whether you're a friend of mine or you just follow the fan page, you'll know that I have officially thrown my hat in. Not that I've thrown my hat in, but I've officially endorsed somebody for President of the United States of America coming up in 2016. That's right. WWE Hall of Famer, the Donald Trump is running for President of the United States of America. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm officially endorsing him. I listened to his speech. And here's the thing. Quite honestly, I got to say this. It was a little controversial, as is everything Mr. Trump does. But you know what? I really, truly feel that, and I've been saying this for years, okay? I have been saying it for years, that we need to get the career politicians out of Washington, and we need to get a businessman in the White House and treat this country as a business. Because we're in so much debt, politicians only think of their own pockets, and they don't care about the common man, R.I.P. Dusty Rhodes, and quite honestly, all they think about is their own pockets, their own well-being, their own security going forward once they're out of office. And it's not about the people. When you put a businessman, somebody who's used to working with people, for people, giving people benefits and salaries and all that, then this country will be where it's supposed to be. But more on that later. I just wanted to say that, yes, I am officially backing and endorsing Donald Trump for President of the United States in 2016. All right. First of all, I also want to give a quick programming note to apologize for last week. If you had listened to the show last week, we had a great interview with Coach Mark Welch of the Connecticut Panthers that will be broadcasting later on this summer. And quite honestly, it had a lot of dead air in it. I had a bad internet connection last week, and it didn't help that the connection was bad and the phone system didn't work. But I'm still working on other ways of getting good interviews for you, even if I have to record them ahead of time and then paste them in or play them. See, I have a bad habit, or not really a bad habit, but something that a lot of podcasters do. As a matter of fact, I was listening to Taz and Chris Jericho this morning on their respective podcasts, however you want to say that. Taz does his Human Podcast Machine, and Chris Jericho does his Talk is Jericho podcast. I've been listening to them a lot, and they both said they don't listen to their own podcasts, and I'm in that same situation. I do not listen to my own podcast. I record it, I let you all listen to it, and if you guys want to give me feedback, then great. But if you don't give me feedback, then, well, I'm assuming it's good. So anyways, I want to thank you all for listening. We are just about at the cusp of 1,000 listens since I started this thing, and 23 episodes later. A lot, obviously the first month was all recordings and getting you all ready, but since we've really come full throttle, a lot of the stuff has been new programming. So I want to thank you on that for getting the Sportswire up to 1,000 listens. So what's going on now? Well, obviously, if everybody follows me, I'm a huge Yankees fan, and A-Rod, Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez, he got his 3,000th hit in style. That's right. He hit a home run similar to Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter hit a home run also as his 3,000th hit, but A-Rod hit a home run. How fitting for his 3,000th hit. And, obviously a lot of people have been talking about, well, how many of those hits were tainted because of the steroids. Listen, you want to take steroids to improve your muscle mass, improve your stuff, whatever, human growth hormone, that's fine. But you know what? Owners swept it under the rug for so long, and Jose Canseco said the same thing. So quite honestly, there's no reason for us not to cheer and celebrate with A-Rod because he got 3,000 hit. You know what? He took it. He did his penance. He took the year off last year, and I don't think anything of it. He's got 660-something home runs. He's got over 2,000 RBIs. He is one of the best players in the game. And, going back in the era, and I was listening to a couple of podcasts, but going back in the era, in the day, if you will, of baseball, all the players, none of them were really, really healthy. Look at Babe Ruth. He was severely overweight. Mickey Mantle was a drunk. And these are guys that you put in the Hall of Fame and guys that we look up to as the best ever. Pete Rose gambled, and, he's banned from the Hall of Fame. Hopefully he gets reinstated, the lifetime ban of baseball. Keep him away from the game, obviously. But you know what? If he's, he's on the up and up, he's another WWE Hall of Famer, I feel let him in. Reinstate Pete Rose, put him where he belongs, in Cooperstown in the Hall of Fame, and, be that as it may, I think it will be great. And that's another thing that I fully support is Pete Rose going into the Hall of Fame. All right. So I was listening to Mike and Mike yesterday morning, I believe, and they were talking about how, all these cheaters, so to speak, in sports, be it, A-Rod with the HGH and the steroids, and on that whole thing with the Tony Bosch Clinic and and how A-Rod rolled over on his cousin, so his cousin is no longer invited into the baseball clubhouse or whatever. Okay, so here's the thing. Mike Golick, who I have tremendous amount of respect for, was talking about how, they really need to crack down on these players who are, taking the steroids and everything and give them jail time. Because for quite honestly, they're drugs, but here's the thing. I honestly don't agree with that. I mean, if they're legal substances, whether it's HGH, testosterone, or whatever, when it comes to legalized stuff, whether it's against baseball or not, it's one of those things where the law has no bearing on it. Obviously the Bosch Clinic was giving out something shady and everything, and the Supreme Court got involved in a number of things like the steroids and everything. I don't necessarily feel that prison time is something that is warranted because, well, quite honestly, the owners knew about it. So if you're gonna put a guy like A-Rod or Rafael Palmeiro or Melky Cabrera or any of these other guys, Manny Ramirez, in prison, you got to put all the owners in prison as well because they all knew about it, and you cannot deny that, and you can't tell me that they didn't know about it because the home runs means more fans, more butts every 18 to 20 inches in the stadium, more fans, more attendance, more money. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the greenbacks, the money trail. And where that is, that's where the fans go. Where the home runs are. When Barry Bonds, broke, I believe he broke Hank Aaron's record. Yeah, he did. When he broke Hank Aaron's record, and I believe he broke Mark McGwire's record as well, for most home runs in the season. I'll have to look that up. Matter of fact, I can do that now. And let's see. Home run record, single season. Now, why can't it be just easy? Let's see. Barry Bonds, 73. And then Mark McGwire was 70 and 66, Sammy Sosa. All three of those guys, ironically, were all linked to cheating and steroids and Sammy Sosa with the corked bat. And then, it just tarnishes the reputation of these guys. And it tarnishes baseball and, that whole issue about whether or not there should be a steroid-era wing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, why not? In the WWE, they have the Attitude Era. I don't think, when they actually build the Hall of Fame in Orlando coming up in the next couple of years, they'll probably have an Attitude Era wing. But, of course, wrestling, you have the different eras. You had the Territory Era. You had the WrestleMania Cable TV era during the national expansion. Then you had the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. And now you're in the PG era where it's the worldwide conglomerate that is known as the WWE, with the network and everything. But, why not? Show baseball through the years. Don't try to hide the history of baseball because Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, the three most home runs in the season, the top three, and not to mention Barry Bonds with the record for the most home runs in a career, you can't erase that. Regardless of how much you want to try. It happened. You can't erase perfect games. You can't erase no-hitters. If you want to take away David Wells' perfect game from the 90s because he was hungover that day, because that, provides a bad role model for kids, well, you can't. He still did the physical feat, and it must have been even harder being hungover. But that's all there is to it. And you can't. Of course, these are my opinions. I don't work for Major League Baseball. I don't work for the NFL. I don't. And Tom Brady with the Deflategate. I still don't know whether Tom Brady is going to actually get suspended or not. If he does get suspended, I am boycotting the NFL for this year. I will not do fantasy football. I will not talk about the NFL because I don't believe that it's Tom Brady's responsibility to worry about the balls. Number one, why? And I was talking to, last week when I was talking to Mark Welch, and he said he was a quarterback, and he said the softer the balls, the harder it was for it to throw. Why would a quarterback want a softer ball? And it was cold and rainy, and that does take a toll on the pressure in a ball. We all know that when you're kids, you have a basketball or football sitting outside, and it's you swear it's at full capacity. You go out a couple days later in the winter, and it's shriveled down and it's very soft. We all know that that's what happens. So for the the big wigs in the NFL to say, oh, Tom Brady had these two goofballs, deflate the ball. Give me a break. You guys are talking out your ass, and that's all there is to it. So we're going to get to our first song now. We got quite a few songs to play today. This is one of my favorite singers in the show that I played, and that's why I keep playing her. It's AJ Jansen. This is Dixie live, not live, but right here on the Sportswire.
Down in the corner is a New York City phoner. He likes to think he owns this joint, but he don't. He comes from the Mason-Dixon line, where the hollers and the swallows spend their dimes, raising cane and sipping that sweet moonshine. Well, the good Lord never told him about the country way up here. We like our Hank, we like our Junior, but let's get one thing clear. This ain't Dixie, but it's country, and my southern sisters love me. We like it loud, we like it proud, are you with me? This ain't Dixie, but it's country, and my outlaw brothers know me. We like it loud, we like it proud, are you with me? This ain't Dixie. It might sound a little unholy. Don't judge me if you don't know me. We all love having us a real good time. No, we don't have the Opry, but we play it up at the Bowery. And I think George Jones can hold his head up high. But the good Lord never told him about the way we do it here. We like our Hank, we like our Junior, but let's get one thing clear. This ain't Dixie, but it's country, and my southern sisters love me. We like it loud, we like it proud, are you with me? This ain't Dixie, but it's country, and my outlaw brothers know me. We like it loud, we like it proud, are you with me? This ain't Dixie. Pardon me if I seem out of line, but country music stands the test of time. This ain't Dixie, but it's country, and my southern sisters love me. We like it loud, we like it proud, are you with me? This ain't Dixie, but it's country, and my outlaw brothers know me. We like it loud, we like it proud, are you with me? This ain't Dixie. It ain't Dixie until you cross that line.
All right, and that was AJ Jansen with This Ain't Dixie right here on the Sportswire. I want to thank AJ Jansen. I've never met her, I've never conversed with her, but the fact that Big Lou was so up on her really tells me that she's a great talent, and just by the songs I play here on the Sportswire, I could tell she's a great talent. So check her out, AJ Jansen. She is on Facebook, and we'll get some more info from her for you on that. First of all, I want to take care of a couple of business items, and quite honestly, here's the we have a couple of new sponsors to talk about. The first one is Wayne Jones Management Company, and his website is www.blemg.com. Once again, www.blemg.com, which is Wayne Jones Management Company. And I will all these sponsors will be up on the website, within the next day, that you can go to our website, swe-ct.com, and click on. I'm not sure the status of myfatcatradio.com. We'll keep you posted on that. Also, we also have Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions, and that's facebook.com/jerry.wilson.180410. Check him out. It's So Real Productions. Jerry Wilson, thank you for your sponsorship of Fat Cat Radio and, in turn, sponsorship of the Sportswire. So, I also want to make note, I didn't mention it on Monday's show, but last weekend we were supposed to broadcast live from the charity basketball event of the New Britain Police Department and Fire Department basketball tournament. It didn't work out. Quite honestly, it was quite unorganized. Yeah, coordinated. Quite coordinated or unorganized. And I was told that the internet was working, the Wi-Fi, but yet it wasn't. I needed a prearranged login and password that I didn't know about. So now I know for next year. That's all the benefit of my car, which is a great, it's a great charity. Check it out. But next year we'll be on top of that for you. That included the New Britain Fire and Police Departments and also the Hartford Fire and Police Departments in a tournament. And, I hope you get to check it out. We will be at Ride for Lexi 2015 in September. Check out their Facebook page. I've posted it. Sportswire SWE will be broadcasting from there live that day. We're working to try to get some giveaways, some raffles, some stuff, if you will, to raffle off and definitely help the great charity Ride for Lexi. Lexi Zinzelet. I met her at a autograph signing on last month, and she's a trooper, born with brittle bone disease, and she's a trooper. She's in a wheelchair, and I feel bad. I really do. But she's fighting every day. Her mother's fighting with her. She's had something like 70-something broken bones, which if you're Mick Foley, I can understand that. But when you're a teenage girl, 15, I think she's 15 years old, if not younger. That's quite sad. But anyways, so we will be there. That's some of the charity work we're doing here for the Sportswire. Last night, now for everybody that doesn't know, I work third shift. Okay, obviously the Sportswire podcast is not paying the bills, so I do need to have a second job. I'll be real with you on that. I work third shift at a hotel here in Connecticut, and I met somebody from Sister Sue's Real Jams and Jellies. They are on Facebook. She actually gave me a couple of samples. I'm working on a deal with them, trying to get them to sponsor and advertise with us. And check them out, Sister Sue's all natural relishes and jams and jellies. They were talking about the hot pepper jellies, and after the next song, I will go through the kind of hot peppers they have, quite honestly, because I can't get up and reach and still talk to you, and I don't want to have dead air. So I will find that out when I actually get over there. And after the next song, I'll find that paper and read you the types of hot peppers, hot pepper jellies, and relishes that they have. From what I heard, they have the the hottest pepper in the world. And when I saw it, when I saw the name of it, then there's actually one hotter that they're breeding right now that's not safe for human consumption yet. I guess there's a guy on YouTube called The Beast, and all he does is eat peppers. And I guess after eating this one pepper, he had to drink so many gallons of milk and eat so much bread, and he was breathing fire. And it can stop your heart. That's how hot it is. But I'll check that in just a little bit. Let's see. So going on this coming Saturday, we also have another NEW Northeast Wrestling event at the Bethany Town Hall. I will be there attending. I don't think I have any interviews set up unless I find one during this week. I will be there with my son. We got second row tickets this time. My son's going to be so happy. And I actually told my son that at some point he will come on the Sportswire and talk and join me on the podcast. He's got the natural gift of gab, and he's got definitely an entertaining side of him. He's doing and his entertaining is a little different than mine. While I could talk the talk and walk the walk, woo, like the man of the hour, the nature boy Ric Flair. He entertains in different ways. He likes to sing. He likes to dance. He's he definitely wants to make people feel good. I went to his recital last Saturday in New Haven. And, he does perform at a studio in New Haven where he goes through his practices and everything. And, I went to their recital, and I was blown away by the amount of talent these kids have. He's the only boy in his musical theater class, and they just fed to his ego. It was so hilarious. They sang Footloose, and they sang... I Need a Hero, and Let's Hear It for the Boy. Just feeding it to his ego, and it was just so awesome. He's got his own Vinistry, and that's the other thing. We're trying to get hashtag Vinistry up and running. That's what my fans are called, the Vinistry, because I've tried to do what's best for business. I've tried to do what's best for the ministry, and now I'm going to do what's best for the ministry, for the Vinistry. I screwed up my own catchphrase. But yes, I'm going to do what's best for the Vinistry. The Vinistry are my fans, my followers, the people that want to talk to Big Daddy Cool, Vinny Apicella. And, so definitely like the page, become a part of the Vinistry. I'm actually looking for a co-host here on the Sportswire, so I am throwing it out to the Vinistry. I want to find a co-host. When I did the live show on the 1st with Big Lou, it came out great. We had tremendous chemistry, and I'm looking for a co-host, and we could do the podcast together, and really have a good time with it. All right, I did get an email earlier this week from if you followed the Sportswire back during this public access era days. Even we've got eras here, but during the public access era. Then you knew about a female called Xtina. She appeared in the last year, maybe 2003, 2004. She appeared in the last year of the Sportswire during the public access era. And she actually got in touch with me through an email, which I was surprised because I thought her and Scott the Madman Fusco fell off the face of the earth. I haven't heard from him. But I replied. I made contact. Hopefully, maybe that she'll become my next co-host. She's living in Connecticut, and so if you're listening there, Xtina, definitely hit me up and let me know. Send an email, sportswire@swe-ct.com. And that's for anybody that's interested in becoming a co-host, sportswire@swe-ct.com, and, let me know. All right. Like I said, this coming Saturday, next Saturday, the 27th, we have an NEW event in Bethany. Ron Zombie takes on the Army of One, Brian Anthony. And it's going to be a huge show. It's going to be a great show. We'll be there. I'll be there. Matt Taven faces Dijak in a rematch from last time. Matt Taven puts his NEW Heavyweight Championship on the line. I thought Dijak did a very awesome job. My pick is Dijak for next week. So, we're going to try to get some of these NEW wrestlers on the Sportswire, in the next few months going up, because I know they're going to be back in Bethany on August 8th, I believe it is. And then again, they're going to be in North Haven at the North Haven Fair in September on the 13th. So the WWE is actually going to be at Bridgeport on August 21st. It's a house show, super show, live event. I'm working on trying to get a suite for that day, so might have some tickets to raffle off in the near future. I mean, it's the day before my birthday, so if you want to spend your birthday with Big Daddy Cool, spend my birthday with me, Big Daddy Cool, Vinny Apicella, definitely let me know, and we'll see what we can do, brother. All right, so I'm going to go to my next song. It's our colleague Twizm Whyte Piece, another DJ here on Fat Cat Radio. Definitely a great hip hop artist. Again, I lost net ping and net uplink, and it's back. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I keep losing this kind of losing the connection, but again, it's lost. So I don't know how much dead air there's going to be here on the Sportswire again this week because we keep losing the net ping and the net uplink. But here is Twizm Whyte Piece with "Do You Remember" right here on the Sportswire.
This one's dedicated to the one I still remember. Do you? They say it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Do you remember? All of the kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember? All of the promises, the memories, have you forgotten all of them that easily? I'm sitting here stuck, looking out the window at the rain come and go, the days come and go, the pain come and go, the memories of us that I just can't let go. The moment that we met, our eyes lined up, spying deep inside each other's souls. We both knew from the go we had to grab a hold of this train ride. It started like a roller coaster, now like a children's track, we moving slower. Hollering and screaming, fighting and believing the best we had already achieved. I believe the moment that we accepted defeat came when we stopped fiending for each other, stopped being there for each other. But there is no other that I would have ever put before you. It's just that the proof I had for you wasn't the truth for you. Now I'm sitting here so shattered, feeling like a fool. Does it even matter? Do you remember? Kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember? All of the promises, the memories, have you forgotten all of them that easily? Too many opportunities to recover from the troubles we were dealt, but not enough energy or health to continue to fight the blows being thrown just below the belt. We use words to cut deep like a ginsu. With issues remaining, we never talked and or rearranged behaviors and or actions. I'm thinking back to when I was backtracking, being attacked by your friends, haters, and pretends. Who was there with a shoulder to lend? Who held your hand when the last man left you stranded? Who took you from misery to happiness by being the friend that made you mad at snowball fights in a snowstorm? Candles lit, formed in a heart with warm oil to start the massage, a collage of pictures, prayers uttered together, filled with wishes. Our best intentions never made it to reality. It's a sad reality, thinking of it really. Do you remember? All of the kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember?
All right, and that was Twizm Whyte Piece with "Do You Remember" right here on the Sportswire. Where was I? Okay, that's right. I said before the break that after the break I would give you the information. Sister Sue's homemade jams and jellies. Now, this is called hot pepper jellies. Okay, so they have their mild, which is 1x of hotness, heat. Then they have medium, hot. Then they have suicide, and which is 4x's of heat. Hot pepper jelly chocolate devil, 4.5 X's of heat. Then they have ghost pepper, hot pepper jelly ghost pepper, 5 X's. Now, I thought that ghost pepper was the hottest pepper in the world. At least that's what I thought from the Food Network, at least. But there's actually another one that's hotter. It's called the Trinidad Scorpion pepper, 6 X's of heat. And then there's another one that's coming up in the next couple years. It still has to be made safe for human consumption. It's not even approved by the FDA yet. That they're working on breeding and making into a hot pepper relish, and that's one of those things where it could really get you. But they have a lot of interesting mixes of jams and jellies. There's apple butter with honey, apple jelly, apple pie jam, apricot jam, blackberry jam, blackberry jelly, blueberry jam, blueberry pomegranate jam, cherry jelly, cinnamon candy apple jam or jelly, I believe, citrus marmalade jelly, crab apple jelly, grape jelly, mango jam, mint jelly, mixed berry jam, and mixed berry jelly, Mountain Dew jam, which that sounds kind of interesting, peach jam, peach raspberry jam, pineapple jam, pink Moscato, which is a type of apple, I believe, jelly, plum jam, plum jelly, pumpkin butter, raspberry habanero jelly, which sounds like a really good mix, raspberry jam, raspberry jelly, red wine jelly, for all those that want jelly and crackers with wine, red wine jelly. Sounds pretty cool. Spiced pear butter, strawberry habanero jelly. That sounds pretty cool. Strawberry jam, strawberry jelly, strawberry kiwi jam, strawberry rhubarb jam, and then a winter jam, which is strawberries, oranges, and cranberries. Prices are $5.50. Wholesale price per case is 12 jars for $50. Tax and shipping separate. Give them a call, 304-350-1690. At Sister Sue's Homemade Jam and Jelly. Look for them on Facebook as well. Sister Sue's, SUE''S, Homemade Jams and Jellies. I just like them. They actually gave me a couple of samples, strawberry kiwi jam and also strawberry lemonade jam that I'm going to be trying. They said it came out very lemony. So as soon as I try it this week, I will let you all know how it feels. But definitely check them out. If you like good jams and jellies, you'll really enjoy Sister Sue's. All right. So that was a plug for a possible new sponsor, Sister Sue's Jams and Jellies. All right. So going forward, what were we going to talk about going forward? Well, Donald Trump. That's right. WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump. Now, I've said it that I've always wanted a McMahon in the White House. I mean, I think Vince McMahon would turn this country around. Like, he took the WWE to a worldwide status. All right, so I don't necessarily know if he's going to get in. I hope he does. I mean, I'm going to vote for him. But here's quite honestly the... all right, here's the transcript. I'm not going to read the entire transcript of what Donald Trump says, but just some key points. Okay. First of all, he pointed out that there's right now it says that the unemployment rate is 5.6%. He said the unemployment rate is actually from 18 to 20%, which is true because of the simple fact that nobody really looks at the people that have stopped looking for jobs. Now, I'm not talking about people on Social Security and retired and all that. I'm talking about people living off the country, whether it's welfare, SSI benefits, which is normally disability, all that, people that cannot work. But when you can work, and you're still living off the country, that's what I call unemployment. Whether you're looking for work or not, you're still unemployed. And I fully agree with that. So 18 to 20% is actually the truth. And that includes people that are working under the table because they cannot get decent jobs. So he's got a point there. Here's something that kind of came up controversial. A lot of people up here cannot get jobs. They can't get jobs because there are no jobs, because China has our jobs and Mexico has our jobs. They all have our jobs. But the real number is anywhere from 18 to 19, maybe even 21%, and nobody talks about it because it's a statistic and that's full of nonsense. Donald Trump will be the best jobs president. He said it, but I completely believe it because he knows how to create jobs. He knows how to keep companies here. He's a born businessman. He's a born talker. And dare I say, he's a born bullshitter. And he will definitely make it to the point where he'll keep jobs here because he'll say what he has to say and do what he has to do. He said that, Obamacare is the biggest disaster in history. He said, we have a disaster called the big lie, Obamacare. Now, these are straight quotes from the transcript. Yesterday it came out that costs are going up for people up 39, 49, even 55%, and deductibles are through the roof. You have to get hit by a tractor, literally a tractor, to use it because the deductibles are so high it's visually useless. And that's true. I mean, I had to sign up for, health insurance. My job doesn't offer health insurance. And, we have to sign up for it. We have to have, first of all, the fact that we have to have health insurance or we get a tax penalty is a crock of garbage. Because if you can't afford it, because you're living your life day to day, you're paying out bills, you're paying electric, gas, fuel for your car insurance, child care, child support, whatever your bills are, and then you have to have health insurance extra out of your pocket that your company doesn't vouch for and doesn't pay for, that's a complete crock of garbage. Because, I had to actually go out and get health insurance last year or else I was going to be penalized on my taxes. And I'm sorry, but I already pay enough in taxes and I don't even get a refund. But, to have something else on top of it that I have to have, and there's nothing free, because when you make, $2 over the minimum wage, you're considered middle class, and you're considered that you can afford to pay for health insurance. You can't get state health insurance. Now, this is not a knock on people that are on state health insurance because they can't afford health insurance. This is a knock on the government and knock on Obamacare that you have to carry, that whole Access Health CT in Connecticut is a crock of garbage. Here's what happened to me, and I'll tell you exactly what happened after this next song. See that? So I'm going to go to my next song. I will continue my rant. Here's Bottle by Sekond Skyn right here on the Sportswire.
Cannot be explained why you're blocking
All right, and that was Sekond Skyn with Bottle here on the Sportswire. All right, so here's a story that I was talking about. It might actually have put me trying to go to the bottom of the bottle. But so here in Connecticut, they have a website called Access Health CT, and it's, it's to stay in line with Obamacare, that every citizen must have health insurance, and go to the healthcare marketplace here, health insurance marketplace here in Connecticut. So you sign up, and I signed up, and because of my income level compared to the cost of insurance, and and everything, and all my debt, or my income level, I was approved for having a tax deductible, or a tax credit, I should say, that was pre-done, so it comes off every month, and I got insurance that's normally $183 a month for $4.40 a month. Fantastic. The problem with that is that even though it's $4.40 a month, it was a $6,000 deductible. So it's like I was paying $4.40 for nothing. Because I don't have the $6,000 to put out. God forbid I had an emergency and needed an ambulance ride to the ER, all that would come out of my pocket, and it's like, what's the point of having insurance if your deductible is so freaking high? But then, this is the screwed up part, I will say this. So, as I said, I have a son. I have a 9-year-old son, and part of the custody agreement is that he's under my insurance. Well, obviously my job doesn't offer insurance, so I'm like, okay, well, let me at least try to hook him up with my insurance. This way, for his husky, which is the low-income child care insurance here in Connecticut, the husky plan, it could go towards my deductible. Well, it turns out that I went through the whole process. It turns out, okay, he was able to go on mine, even though he doesn't live with me. And the lady on the line goes, okay, well, now that you added another child, another person onto your insurance with the same income, you lost the tax credit. Or you can go on Husky, which for low-income adults, and your son will stay on Husky. It'll be free, paid for by the state, whatever. That's your choice. And I asked her, and I said, wait a minute. So if I wanted to stay with, another insurance company, it would be $183 a month plus the $6,000 deductible. Even though I'm adding a person onto my income level, or I can go with the state. Well, I'm like, that's a no-brainer. I'll go with the Husky. I'll go with the state. I don't have to pay anything out of pocket. There's nothing. It's quote unquote free healthcare. But I think that's entirely backwards, that you add a child onto your insurance and you lose the tax credit instead of getting more tax off and getting your deductible lowered. But that's Connecticut. That's Obamacare. So for Donald Trump to come out and the first thing he does in office is repeal Obamacare, that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay. So, he said the $5 billion website, it doesn't work to this day, and it's $5 billion. He said, I have so many websites, I have them all over the place. I hire people, they do a website, it costs me $3, which is true, because you get, people from India to do websites, or people from Connecticut. I mean, I do websites for $350, not $5 billion. If I had $5 billion and I got paid that much to do a website, I wouldn't have to work a day in my life. But that's Obama. That's the government. So here's he did talk about he talked about the let me try to find it. He talked about the immigration, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm kind of reading through his transcript while I'm thinking about it. So he said that he will bring our jobs back from China, from Mexico, from Japan, and from so many places. He'll bring the jobs back, and he'll bring back the money, which is a great thing. All right? He said this. Right now, think of this. We owe China $1.3 trillion. We owe Japan more than that. So they come in, they take our jobs, they take our money, and then they loan us back the money, and we pay them in interest. And the dollar goes up, so their deal's even better. So how stupid are our leaders? How stupid are these politicians to allow this to happen? How stupid are they? I think it's great that he's speaking what at least what I've been trying to say for the past couple of years, but what many people are thinking. He's saying it. He is saying it out loud. How stupid are the politicians? You know, I have a good plan for action for politics, but let me just finish going through Donald Trump's thing. Okay. Now, where are we? Talking more about China. Now, he said this. I own a big chunk of the Bank of America building at 1290 Avenue of Americas that I got from China in a war. Very valuable. I love China. The biggest bank in the world is from China. You know where their United States headquarters is located? In this building, in Trump Tower. I love China. People say, oh, you don't like China. No, I love them. But their leaders are much smarter than our leaders, and we can't sustain ourselves with that. There's too much. It's like you take the New England Patriots and Tom Brady and have them play your high school football team. That's the difference between China's leaders and our leaders. He's got it perfectly. You know, he says, going a little further, China, you go there now, roads, bridges, schools. You never saw anything like it. They have bridges that make the George Washington Bridge look like small potatoes. And that GW Bridge is quite large. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Everybody said that it's a... where are we? Oh, here we go. But I have another one, Ford. So Mexico takes a car company that was going to be built in Tennessee, rips it out. Everybody thought the deal was dead, reported in the Wall Street Journal recently. Everybody said that it was a done deal. It's going in, and that's going to be it. Going into Tennessee, great state, great people. All of a sudden, at the last moment, this big car manufacturer, Ford, announces they're going to Tennessee. They're not going to Tennessee. They're going to spend their billions of dollars in Mexico instead. It's not good. Now Ford announces a few weeks ago that Ford is going to build a $2.5 billion car and truck and parts manufacturing plant in Mexico. $2.5 billion. It's going to be one of the largest in the world. Ford, a good company. So I announced that I'm running for president. One of the early things I would do, probably before I even got in, and I wouldn't even use, I know the smartest negotiators in the world. And that is true. He knows, he knows it, He knows negotiators. Okay? He said, let's see. But then they're going to get a call from their donors or probably from the lobbyists for Ford and say, you can't do that to Ford because Ford takes care of me and I take care of you and you can't do that to Ford. And you know what? No problem. They're going to they're going to build in Mexico. They're going to take away thousands of jobs. That's very bad for us. So under President Trump, here's what would happen. The head of Ford will call me back. I would say within an hour after I told him the bad news, but it could be he'd want to be cool, and he'll wait until the next day. They want to be a little cool. And he'll say, please, please, please. He'll beg for a little while, and I'll say, sorry, no interest. Then he'll call all sorts of political people, and I'll say, sorry, fellas, no interest. Because I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich. Okay? So that's the good part. Let's see. He goes, I'll give you another example. Saudi Arabia. They make $1 billion a day. $1 billion a day. I love the Saudis. Many are in this building. They make $1 billion a day. When they have problems, we send over the ships. We're going to protect. And what are we doing? They got nothing but money. If the right person asked them, they'd pay a fortune. They wouldn't be there except for us. And believe me, you look at the border with Yemen. You remember Obama a year ago? Yemen was a great victory. 2 weeks later, the place was blown up. Everybody. And they kept our equipment. They always keep our equipment. We ought to send used equipment, right? They always keep our equipment. We ought to send some real junk because, frankly, it would be. We ought to send them our surplus. We're always losing this gorgeous brand new stuff. But look at the border with Saudi Arabia. Do you really think that these people are interested in Yemen? Saudi Arabia, without us, is gone. They're gone. So, it's it's amazing, and I could go on. I could go on to a lot of things, and he talked about immigration, and I know a lot of people were upset with that because of he had some bad stuff to say about certain countries and certain people. He said he would build a big law between the U.S. and Mexico on the border to make sure the Mexicans stay out because, quote unquote, the supposed Mexicans that are coming over are the bad ones and the no good ones. And that's his opinion. I can't say that I know that for a fact or not. But the fact is, Mexicans are coming to the U.S. They're taking our jobs that we don't want, of course, so that they're making money, but they're sending it back home to bring more over. And that's got a problem. So that's in a nutshell, that's Donald Trump, the transcript of Donald Trump. So you could view it on YouTube, you could find it online, and But I fully endorse Donald Trump for the president of the United States in 2016. All right, we're going to go to another song. I played this artist on the last show. It's called Good. It's by Alexa Wilkinson. It's called Good Fight by Alexa Wilkinson right here on the Sportswire.
Woke you up just to tell you to shut up and listen to me. You never do a thing I don't find fault with, so just set me free. It's like I don't know you anymore, and there was something even worse I said. I can't remember half of it, I just wish that I was dead. Sure, I'll apologize, but now I'm getting wise to what's all going on inside. Sometimes the bad things and the sad things, they just come out all wrong. I blame you for all things that stall things, and there's nothing going on. Even the best souls, they got big holes, need a filling now and then. So if it's gotta be tonight, whoa, let's learn to have a good fight. Let's learn to have a good fight. You gotta understand, I got a lot of time to sit around and think about you. The devil's creeping in to tell me you're sinning. You're probably asleep in your room. Now I'm out on the patio of your Sunset Village floor. I wanna knock, but pride's a bouncer and he's standing guard at your door. Trust me, I know I gotta take this slow, find new ways to help me grow. Sometimes the bad things and the sad things, they just come out all wrong. I blame you for all things that stall things, and there's nothing going on. Even the best souls, they got big holes, need a feeling now and then. So if it's gotta be tonight, whoa, let's learn to have a good fight. I take it for what it's worth. I never stab on purpose. I got a lot of hurt bottled up inside. I know it's not your fault, but it's all a part of the ride. Sometimes the bad things and the sad things, they just come out all wrong. I blame you for all things that's all things, and there's nothing going on. Even the best souls, they got big holes, need a filling now and then. So if
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Alexa Wilkinson with Good Fight right here on the Sportswire. I need to apologize because I didn't realize I didn't turn the mic on mute for the majority of that song, so you might have heard the fan in the background or various other noises you might not have wanted to hear. And not that I really have anything bad going on here, but, well, you never know. Just different things that, different production sounds, if you will. All right, so I talked about Donald Trump, and I firmly support him in that, in the presidential race in 2016. I don't know whether he's going to run as an actual Republican or if he's going to run independent, or if he loses the Republican nod, if he'll run independent. That would be my guess. But I do notice I keep losing the net ping and the uplink. I'm wondering if that's just the broadcasting console that loses it, but it keeps saying on air. If there's any dead air, I apologize, but it doesn't look like we've got any dead air going on right now. So I just wanted to point out a couple of things. First of all, I know it's an hour into the show and I never said it. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's a great Father's Day when you could just spend the day with your kids and and your family, and just have, whether it be a cookout, even though up here in Connecticut it's going to rain tomorrow all day. But anyways, it's going to be a great day. It always is. Whenever I'm with my son, it's a fantastic day. It's a fantastic time. So that's where we're at. Okay. So what else is on the topic on the docket for today? I have to say I'm having fun today. Talking about Donald Trump, talking about just everything I have. Going over into the WWE a little bit. I like what they're doing with Kevin Owens and John Cena, and that with Kevin Owens attacking Machine Gun Kelly this past Monday on Raw, it was I don't know, it was kind of like, I don't necessarily know if that was a great move. I mean, he powerbombed him through a table, and then the guy no sold it. So it's like, unfortunately, he just didn't get it. He doesn't respect the business enough to say, you know what, this is somebody just powerbombed me through a table, and from the stage, no less. I don't think I should be walking, or I should come out on a stretcher, or I don't think that for the next couple of days I should be really seen. But I guess he just hasn't been selling the injury. Kevin Owens came out and apologized about it, but it reminds me. It remains to be seen about some of the and actually maybe in one of my next shows we'll talk about the role of celebrities in wrestling. Obviously, the WWE they did an entire Legends of Wrestling show about the celebrity effect. It's on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month. I've watched it numerous times because I happen to enjoy some of the stories. I like Roddy Piper when he's on those shows. I have to say, when they did the show about the Renegades and Outlaws, and it was Roddy Piper, Michael Hayes, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and Jim Ross on the panel with Mean Gene as the host, I thought it was great. And Roddy Piper, at the very end, with Roddy Piper talking about Cowboy Bob Orton and Don Morocco and their running buddies back in the 80s, and that is just fantastic. I like Roddy Piper. I like that show. I do. I love the setup, and I always have. And it's great. I wish they would do more of those Legends of Wrestling shows, but they haven't done it since Classics on Demand, and all of them are in the vault area. They did Legends of WrestleMania, once for the Warrior and once for WrestleMania 30, but nothing compared to what what was on the with the other one. But I really find it enjoyable. And when you look at certain celebrities in the WWE and that go in, and like Hugh Jackman was great. He came in, he went in, and he was immediately like one of the guys. He punched off Ziggler, and he knew when to get involved, when not to get involved. Mike Tyson, for the WrestleMania 15 main event, or was it 15? WrestleMania 15 main event, as the special guest ring announcer, WrestleMania 14, excuse me, special guest enforcer. That was great. That was a great move, and he was on the outside, but again, he knew when to get involved. When you had WCW with David Arquette, that'll obviously be the biggest blunder. WCW has had a lot of the biggest blunders of anything because of the mismanagement of the company and because of the mismanagement of the organization, be it the Shockmaster debacle or be it David Arquette winning the world title, be it Psycho Sid being on the microphone. They've had a lot of stuff go wrong in WCW because of the mismanagement, quite honestly. Obviously, Machine Gun Kelly just doesn't get it. Earlier in the night, it was announced, or later on that night, I should say, it was announced that Seth Rollins will be taking on the returning Brock Lesnar at Battleground. At Battleground, in a rematch, for the world title. I hope that Brock doesn't get the title again. Now that he's just a part-timer, I'm all for I'm all for him. I like Brock Lesnar. I really do. No matter how much I've said I can't stand him in the past, I really like him. And I'm glad because he's got that appeal to him, almost like a attraction, like Andre the Giant, You can't have too much of him, and I understand that. But when you put the world title on somebody who's not going to be there for months at a time, then not only do you lose the attraction value because he's coming back. The fact when he's now obviously, and I'm talking about people that actually could suspend disbelief. When Brock Lesnar was, imminently or infinitely suspended or whatever it was. Indefinitely suspended back the night after WrestleMania, you suspend disbelief even though he signed a 3-year deal. You could suspend disbelief and say, oh, well, he's not coming back. And then to come back as a surprise, a challenge for Battleground, that's the attraction value. But when he's got the world title and he's not wrestling, he's coming back. You really do. And, you have that attraction value, but you lose it when he's got the world title. I apologize. Somebody. But yeah, you definitely lose the attraction value when you have him as a world title and he's coming back for, it has to be in a couple pay-per-views or he's going to wrestle for a couple in a row, whatever. You put him into a feud, and that's great as long as he's there all the time. But, I don't want to see him win the world title. I really don't. I want to see more of Paul Heyman because he's just the best manager in history. I really think he is. I posted something on Twitter or on Facebook not too long ago, a couple of days ago, actually. I was watching the Stone Cold podcast with Paul Heyman, and I think I've watched it twice or whatever. And I thought the absolute best line he said was if you ever ask Paul Heyman the Jewish history according to Paul Heyman, that every Jewish holiday is a commemoration of they tried to kill us and we're still here. And that's the Jewish history according to Paul Heyman. I thought that was just absolutely awesome. I really did. I thought that was funny because it's true. Whether it's Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur or whatever, people tried to kill off the Jews and they're still here. So it's got time to celebrate. So that's I really would love to see more of Paul Heyman, but if he's only over there with Brock Lesnar, then whatever. I like Paul Heyman, and I love his promos. I'm definitely a Heyman guy. I really am. Okay, so we're going to switch gears after this. We're going to go to another song. Here's a good buddy of mine, J-Deuce. Been on the show numerous times, his songs at least. Here's the song Hard Time featuring Mike G and Asia Stevens. Here's J-Deuce right here on the Sportswire.
raised in an environment filled with situations that I meet fairy tales in existence. Who like ghetto streets. It was tough for my mom to meet the needs of the household, to be able to have a table with me, to feed a mouthful. Bad social weather didn't allow my parents to stay together. When it rained and poured, it made that I knew we're going through the same endeavor and can relate with what we're facing. Welfare and unemployment lines filled with familiar faces. Always hard to find a reason to smile. So you wanna get into my shoes and try to walk a mile? I don't know about that shit. It was tough for me to walk when I was continually growing out of my shoes. As far as new styles and trends, couldn't really spot them. As far as the ones who did, they were quick to get stolen. Wish I had a dime for every time I met someone going through the same grind. A clock made out of sweat can't compare to this hard time.
Need money to feed my kids.
This is hard time.
Asking God why I have to live. Late on rent again. Can't afford to keep with trends. Minimum wage, I need more hours. Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends. I'm drowning out again.
We went from having good times to no time, a busy life to no life, a free life, a stress life, a hard time, a hard life. You try to make the best of your circumstances and everything that turns into it, but once you pay your bills, another one resurfaces. Some people that's already in debt think they got nothing to lose, but that's easy to act when the credit card is pre-approved. That's why you gotta be disciplined and be the bigger man, because you buy one thing and the government got you in the palm of their hand, and that's the problem when you make your biggest mistake. You buy the newest Escalade and have no food in your plate. When Obama became president, people thought that things was gonna change, but these can't change unless some of us take the blame. Two major debates is Medicaid and economy. A debate for the past 30 years because the world is a monopoly. The good die young and the better die quicker. The poor stay broke and the richer get richer. Hard times.
Feed my kids.
This is hard time.
Asking God why I have to live. Late on rent again. Can't afford to keep with trends. Minimum wage, I need more hours.
This is hard times.
Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends. I'm drowning out again.
This is hard times.
I need to feed my kids. Asking God why I have to live. Late on rent again. Can't afford to keep with trends. Minimum wage, I need more hours. Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends. I'm drowning out again. This is hard times.
This is hard times. This is hard times.
All right, and that was J-Deuce with Mike G and Asia Stevens' Hard Times. I have to say it's one of his better songs. But I, again, I want to thank all of the people on here, all of the artists that we play here on the Sportswire, because without the music, I wouldn't have time to take a break and rest my voice. All right, but anyways, like I was saying, we've talked about a lot, and I really want to thank you all for listening today. We still got a little bit of time before we close up shop, but so we do have another. We're going to go to our next segment of the show, one that's been pretty regular. That's right, the weird law of the day, or dumb law of the day, I should say. This time we're actually going to the state of Wyoming, which is out in the Midwest. You think you gotta have some dumb laws out there, so here we go. All right. In Wyoming, if one is drunk in a mine, he or she can land in jail for up to a year. Junk dealers may not make any business transactions with drunk persons. All new buildings that cost over $100,000 to build must have 1% of funds spent on artwork for the building. That seems kind of weird. It is illegal to wear a hat that obstructs people's views in a public theater or place of amusement, which pretty much means, those Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat type hats. Using a firearm to fish is strictly forbidden. Now, I've seen cartoons or whatever, but I didn't think people really did that. It is illegal for women to stand within 5 feet of a bar while drinking. That doesn't make any sense. You need to drink at a bar. You may not take a picture of a rabbit from January to April without an official permit. Okay, I guess that's rabbit season, at least for pictures. And then in Cheyenne, Wyoming, it is illegal to spit on the steps of a school. And that's quite weird itself. Definitely the dumb laws. That's quite speechless here. All right. So anything else that we have to talk about today? Well, we're going to go to another song. Last song of the day. It's a new artist who I haven't played yet on the Sportswire. It's Karen Craig. The song is called Dead to the World, right here on the Sportswire.
Under a southern sky, far away from the grip you held me in. The devil using the weakest man to commit the greatest sin. Under a blanket hide and cry until you cannot feel the fight. Maybe you choose the will to survive. What did you expect when you were so downtrodden? Tried to protect you, now I won't be forgotten. And if I surprised you with my love, this is more about you. You couldn't accept me, but you couldn't let go. Now I'm the only one who will ever know. You cannot have now and you cannot hold. You're dead to the world. Deep in the dark of the night, surrounded by the sense it wasn't right. Knowing that you would tell your lies. Then when I heard a voice, a cold hard truth about what you had been, and it was exactly as it seemed. I will leave you with another someone else for you to tear apart. Watch you destroy each other's hearts. What did you expect when you were so downtrodden? Try to protect you, now I won't be forgotten. And if I surprised you with my love, this is more about you. You couldn't accept me, but you couldn't let go. Now I'm the only one who will ever know. You cannot have now and you cannot hold. You're dead to the world.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Karen Craig with Dead to the World right here on the Sportswire. We definitely got like kind of a country sound to her. That I want to thank the artists that provided the music for us tonight. Twizm Whyte Piece with Do You Remember? AJ Jansen, This Ain't Dixie. Sekond Skyn with Bottle. Good Fight by Alexa Wilkinson. J-Deuce featuring Mike G and Asia Stevens with Hard Time. And then we just heard Dead to the World by Karen Craig. Karen Craig, right here on the Sportswire. We've had a great show. I love this format, and don't let the name, like I say it to anybody, don't let the name Sportswire fool you. We talk about a lot of stuff on here, whether it be hot topics or pop culture or what's in the news. Sportswire has been my show's name for 18 years now, and that's why I chose Sportswire. But we talk about everything here. We'll get more into entertainment. We'll get more into stuff. Oh, by the way, Cleveland Cavaliers won the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship, and the Chicago Blackhawks won the NHL title, the Stanley Cup. So, we've got 2 new champions to crown. Tiger Woods is probably, I don't think he made it to today's cut for the U.S. Open Championship. Not that we really talk about golf anyways on the show. But, it's just kind of keeping you updated. So, I guess we're done. I want to thank our sponsors. Let me just get to where they are. It's amazing that we do have great sponsors, and let's see. We're coming up. Here we go. Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions. You can find him on Facebook, facebook.com/jerry.wilson.180 and then also Wayne Jones Management Company, care of Wayne Jones. The website is www.blemg.com. You can also find visit our websites at www.swe-ct.com, www.myfactguiradio.com, facebook.com/SportswireCT, facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella, facebook.com/FatCatRadio Enterprise, Twitter, Pinterest, SoundCloud, Tumblr, Foursquare, Instagram, and all that is SWE Connecticut. And then on YouTube and Google Plus, it's Sportswire SWE. We're going to be working on trying to get better interviews and more interviews for you guys in the next couple of weeks. I'm working with trying to make sure Skype works well, and we can get you some more interviews. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everything you do for us. Right here, we're always looking for sponsors. Let me know. Email me, sportswire@swe-ct.com. I want to give a shout out to a couple of possible sponsors. InfoRed Vision. You can find them at InfoRedVision.com. They're a graphics design company. Check them out. And also, Sister Sue's homemade jams and jellies from Martinsburg, West Virginia. They ship all over the world. Phone number 304-350-1690. You can also find them on Facebook. Once again, Sister Sue's homemade jams and jellies. Okay, we're done for the day. We'll be back Monday. I will be recording another podcast. I know it was kind of late this time, but hopefully I get Brian Knox on at some point, who is my roommate. He's an audiologist, but he's also a doctor. I want to talk about the whole Fallon Fox controversy. All right, so have a great weekend, folks. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And thank you for listening. This is Vinny Apicella, Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, right here on the Sportswire.